Friends, welcome back to today's deep dive where we discuss the global economy, geopolitics and how it impacts our lives and businesses right here in India. The big picture of India-China relations. Friends, when we talk about India-China friendship, it's not just about diplomacy or political handshakes. It's about trade, investments, cultural exchanges and supply chains that touch every part of our lives. Friends, China today is known as the world's factory, producing everything from electronics to toys, from steel to solar panels. India, on the other hand, has been working hard to build its own manufacturing ecosystem driven by initiatives like Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat. But here's the challenge. Whenever India tries to scale up its domestic industries, it finds itself competing with the Chinese goods that are often cheaper, faster to produce and available in large bulk. So the question is, if India and China become closer friends, what happens to the Indian businesses? What happens to the Indian ecosystem? Friends, let's first understand the opportunities of this friendship. Let's first look at the positives. First and foremost, I would like to discuss about market access. Friendship means doors open up. India could gain more access to China's gigantic consumer market. Imagine Indian IT services, Ayurveda products or even Bollywood entertainment reaching Chinese households at a large scale. Now that's a big opportunity. The second point I would love to discuss is technology transfers. Collaboration could mean sharing of advanced manufacturing technologies. China has mastered scale and efficiency while India has strengths in innovation and great services. A partnership can merge these strengths together and create a different outcome. The third advantage is cheaper imports for Indian consumers. Friendship means affordable products. From smartphones to solar panels, lower prices could accelerate India's growth story in sectors like renewable energy, e-commerce and infrastructure. All very touching and important points. Friends, but that's not all. Let us understand the risks of this friendship and let's be realistic. Every friendship in geopolitics comes with risks. The first risk I would like to discuss is manufacturing competition. Friends, India's small and medium industries could get overshadowed. For example, an Indian toy manufacturer might not survive against the cheaper Chinese toys flooding the market. That's dangerous for the Indian manufacturer. Point number 2 I would like to discuss is the trade deficit. India already imports much more from China than it exports. If friendship deepens without careful policy measures, this gap might widen, making India more dependent on China. The third point is strategic vulnerability. Heavy reliance on Chinese manufacturing can weaken India's bargaining power. For instance, during global crisis, supply chains could be disrupted, leaving India very vulnerable. So the outcome is not black and white. It's a double-edged sword. We need to be conscious and mindful about it. My next point I would like to discuss is what does it mean for Indian businesses? Now let's break it down at the business level. It's very interesting to understand in bits and pieces. For large corporates, big companies like Tata, Reliance and Mahindra, they may benefit. They can tap into Chinese expertise for scaling production and also access their markets. Indian startups, they could find it easier to source affordable components, especially in electronics, EVs and green energy. Now this could lower their cost and this could speed up their growth. Small businesses and MSMEs, now this is where the challenge lies. A local textile unit in Surat or a small furniture making in Kerala may struggle against mass-produced, lower-cost Chinese imports. Without government protection or innovation, survival becomes tough or next to impossible. So the outcome is a mixed bag. Opportunities for some and risk for many. Now that's the situation to be tackled. The way forward for India could be very interesting. And now here's the crucial part. What can India do in such a situation? First point I would like to discuss would be selective collaboration. India must identify sectors where friendship benefits both sides without harming local industries. For example, in infrastructure development or green technology. My second point would be to protect MSMEs. The government needs to support small and medium businesses with incentives, tariffs and innovation funds so that they can compete with the Chinese counterparts. My third point would be skill development. If Indian workers are trained in advanced manufacturing, we can reduce our dependence on Chinese imports and instead we can co-create products with the Chinese companies. My fourth point would be balance of trade. India has to push for equal trade terms. Now, friendship should not mean dependence. It should mean mutual benefit. These are very important points that we really need to absorb well. Also, we need to understand the human side. Let's not forget, beyond economics, India-China friendship has a human dimension. Cultural exchanges, tourism, education partnerships, all of these will build very strong bridges. An Indian student learning AI in Beijing or a Chinese tourist exploring Kerala's backwaters creates a bond which is stronger than trade numbers. But at the same time, India must always safeguard its strategic independence. Friends, friendship must not come at the cost of sovereignty. That's our primemost protection. My final thoughts would be very interesting. So, what's the outcome of India-China friendship? It's neither fully positive nor fully negative. It is a strategic balancing act. If managed wisely, India can benefit from technology, markets and affordable imports. But if not handled carefully, it could harm our domestic businesses and make us overly dependent on China. Friends, in short, the future lies in India's ability to be both a friend and a competitor. A friend in trade, culture and global issues, but a competitor in manufacturing and innovation, both at the same time. So friends, before we wrap up, a quick reminder to check out our sponsors. That is, Sante Spa Cuisine. If you're craving authentic taste, head to Sante Spa Cuisine, where every dish is a journey through tradition. And for those who want to look good while staying fit, you need to explore the Ball Active Gymwear, where performance meets style. And of course, I'm sure you're stylish. It will add to your style. So friends, that's it for today's discussion. If you found this valuable, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do think whether India should befriend China more closely or keep its distance to protect local businesses. Friends, until the next time, stay informed, stay inspired and keep thinking global but keep acting local. Thank you so much.